Welcome to Date with Danu right here on Hi TV, your luxury channel. We have somehow sailed into the brand new year. Thank you for being with us on the show and for all your love and support. And with me on the show, I have someone who has pioneered entertainment in Sri Lanka. He has given us reasons to dance, move, and at the same time have phenomenal events. All this and more on the show today as we get on with Date with Danu.
Hi, I'm Jerry,
I'm Shehara.
and we are here to go on a date with Danu.
Danu and I go way back. I think we were probably 15 or 16. We took part in a play together with Feroz called The Animal Farm. I was the chicken and I think he was a cow.
Well, I came to know Danu much later. I mean, once he became known, but mainly from my daughter Shehara actually.
And so we have the man who you would have seen if you're from the good 80s. I'm telling you, he was the kingpin. The one and only Jerry. And if you're wondering who is the one who is seated next to him, that's Jerry's proud first creation, Shehara.
That's right.
Yeah. He didn't give any
Yeah.
form of.
Nothing.
He
And
didn't
I'm
even.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Jerry, tell me, you brought in the discs for people to dance. Before that, we were just dancing to, I don't know,
Kaprinya.
Kapringa and Sarangani and all the stuff. And until you brought in everything that was fancy. So this DJing culture, you made it absolutely gorgeous, and it was such a respected, wanted job. Tell me about your times when you used to rock this place we are in right now.
True. I mean, 1977 was the year, and it was the Oberoi. It was the Trip discotheque.
What discotheque?
Trip.
Trip.
The Trip.
Ah, they go on
it
a
was
trip.
A trip. Yeah. And this is the place. My booth was just here, and dance floor, the bar at the further corner. Right now, they've actually brought in the health club area, which was on the right, is now part of this.
They used to have the health club right next to the Trip.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It was well patronized by, really, I mean, a proper gym-based health club.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm talking the 70s.
Yeah.
The Oberoi was, the first 5-star.
Right.
And I think in the star classifications, those were requirements.
Right.
So was the discotheque.
You have to have one.
Yeah, I mean, the supper club was there, and then I think it was more nightclub or discotheque. And mind you, discotheques were at the infancy stage.
Right.
It was basically Studio 55 or 54 in New York, a few clubs in London. And essentially, the DJ was an underground guy, was really not mainstream.
Right.
So where people who were not actually getting signed on by major labels were doing white labels and promoting these in the basements of London and New York.
Right, okay.
So when it became too big on the dance floor and people started requesting on radio, the radio DJs would wonder, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
And then, it evolved.
Right.
And of course, 77, Robert Stigwood came with Saturday Night Fever. And John Travolta came on the scene. Simultaneously, there was Thank God It's Friday, which are the two DJ-based movies. And I just happened to be lucky in a way, because I was in London with my parents. I mean, we had migrated, and then I was in London. And then I told my dad, the government had changed. The open economic policy came into play.
Right.
And I was negotiating with Intercon, which is Kingsbury now, to open a discotheque. So then I told my dad, I said, it has changed. And his very good friend was Dr. Ananda Tisadialvis, who was Minister of Tourism and State. And he said, let him come because it's changed. So I came, and then about 2 days later, I just walked into the Oberoi, and Sohan was playing.
Sohan, the singer Sohan?
Sohan Experiments, yeah. He was playing for a wedding in the ballroom. And I walked in, and we were college mates, he was senior to me. And as soon as he saw me, he was in London, he would meet me. and get his stuff that he wanted for sound and all that. And he midway of song, he just stopped it and he walked down and he came and wedding, he's playing, and then he came and he said hi, and then he said, Machang, don't go anywhere. I need to take you to FNB, they're looking for a DJ. So there was the gentleman by the name of Mr. Primavesi. He was the FNB director. He said, we went and sat, we chatted, and then I went, and then, you know, about 2 weeks later, I was at the airport waiting to pick my sister up, when I get a tap on the shoulder, and then to see it was Mr. Primavesi's secretary, who was Andrea Babapulle, right, a famous name, you know, at that time. And she said, no, we've been looking for you. There were no mobiles, there were no phones, you know what I mean?
And she was stalking you?
Bill, I mean, she was at the airport to greet somebody for the hotel, you know.
This Katunaika?
Katunaika, yeah. So he said, can you come tomorrow? I said, no, can't come tomorrow. Let me come like a day after. I came, and then they said, can you start? You know, so he said, I need to see what, you know, you say you're a DJ, but I need to see. But by this time, Sohan had basically underwritten, you know, that I was a DJ. So anyway, that was my start point.
Wow.
But I was very lucky because the industry as a whole, the DJ, was at its infancy.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Oberoi had a discotheque.
It was
built, a purpose-built discotheque, you know.
So the sound and everything was on point.
Not really. I mean, it was really bad, I'm telling you. The equipment was really bad. And then coming from London and then having to like work on this was like a nightmare, you know. But but then the music was amazing. At the Trip Discotheque, they had their own collection of records.
Right.
And
you had things that others didn't have.
Very much so, but I mean the discotheque did have a library, and the stand-in DJ at that time was Raju Chantiran.
Oh, right.
Raju was front office. He was
oh, this world is so small.
Yeah. And Raju is the one who, you know, so what happened was when I brought my records in, security said, we can't allow you to take it in. You'll have to write all the, and I had about 400 records with me. So I gave
the same for us, man.
Yeah.
Can't bring a mic in.
Yeah. So I gave them my index and I said, will you please write it down because I've written it. So you can write it down. And then I sat. So then half an hour, nobody was writing, nobody was doing anything. And then, now this was for my audition. And I said, look, I mean, I'm wasting my time. And what do you want me to do? And it was a regular club night, right? So then one of the managers came down and he said, no, you can go in. But I'm going to position our security guard by the console so that our records are safe. I said, why don't you just take it out? You know?
I don't need your nonsense.
Exactly. And I was
my
like,
own cool things.
Absolutely.
From London.
Absolutely, correct. You come with this little snooty feel. And there was nothing in the country to like, nothing like this.
Yeah, you should have said, I'm here hot from Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the attitude.
The
mental frame was that. You know, what are you talking about? I don't need this. You know?
I know. Yeah. But we're going to come back and speak more storytelling. I think you are just so gifted. I love this show already. Let's get into a segment called Hot Seat. We'll see you on the next time. Thank you to our friends at Crystal Luxury Wellness for joining us on Date with DANU. You can now get yourself a brand new look for the new year. You can work with professional doctors, therapists and nurses who will guide you through the process. It could be for hair, skin, body, you name it. They have it all with the latest treatments coming to Sri Lanka, making it a hub for the world to see. So Crystal Luxury Wellness, thank you for joining us on the show. Anyway, too bad. So Jerry, it feels so bad to call him by name, Uncle Jerry, has two daughters. One just refused to come. Just like, to be seen on that show. I don't want you. She was just a chicken in a play I acted. My last minute chicken. We were senior farm members.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. But this to you specifically. Shehara or Tracy, who has more of you in them?
I think both do, but in different ways.
Yeah, but I just want one. Say the answer to the people who are around you.
Well, I mean, you know, I think they have, I mean, different qualities of mine.
I
think
have your
Shehara-
heart.
Yeah,
Tracy
Shehara-
might have your mind a little.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But see, Shehara, always a second born,
Yeah. Trumps
even
it.
at the point where you are sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Come on,
But she
Dada.
does a lot of the things that I would do and have been doing. So I mean, she's definitely, you know, got the edge.
That is sympathy.
Yeah. That was pressure.
Yes, that's pressure. Pressure. All right. Senaka Lochin, your favorite choreographer.
Oh, that's below the belt one. You know, I mean, they're both. Once again, I mean, they're both amazing. They're both dear friends of mine. And I mean, Senaka was a choreographer long before Loching started being a choreographer. They both have their elements in different ways, but Senaka definitely is, I would say, if you take the modeling industry, Senaka could be treated almost like a godfather.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Shehara, for you?
Ooh. I think growing up, I saw Uncle Senaka every day almost. Whenever he had a fashion show, he would sit in Dada's office and for hours he'll find like the tracks that went for the fashion show segments. And
yeah.
I used to be, I think we were what, 11, 10? And but we would be so enthralled and excited and we used to just watch him like choosing and then he'll be there, he'll be ignoring us, of course.
Of course.
But he would
Y'all were
be...
just dust.
Yeah. Whereas Uncle Loching was the guy who taught us to draw every time because my mom worked in his salon because she did nails
Right.
way back when in the 90s. And every day after school we used to go there and he would really take care of us. He made sure we had lunch, he made sure we had something to do, he'd cut our hair 20,000 times, yeah, it never grew, yeah.
All of that. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your answer?
See, I'm his child,
Same.
both.
Okay. When was the last time you lost your cool and why?
One of the things that really get me in today's context of things is the hypocrisy of the politicians.
Oh.
So that really gets me riled, and most of the time it actually is directed towards somebody in authority who is not doing
Bull.
what they're supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
and taking us citizens of this country for granted. And for me, from public servant one who happens to be the president right down to the peon and the driver are public servants who are paid by us, the citizens of this country. And to me, at the moment, none of them actually do what they are supposed to be doing, serving the people. They are supposed to be servants of the public, instead of which they behave like lords and masters and try to treat us citizens as their footstools. That not only annoys me, that really gets the better of me whenever I have a public servant in authority, in position of power, telling me that I am doing something wrong. That is the one. That gets me absolutely irritated and angry. You know.
You got him riled up again.
I know.
Good job, Danu.
Hey, no worries.
Would that be too hard? For
No,
the
no,
show?
that's great. That's great. That's great. God, if it was me, I would have just taken a coconut and hit my own head with it. An annual show in Colombo that can use a little bit of Gerry magic. You know, we have all types of things: fashion week, motor show, bridal show, wedding show.
I think we've got so many, and truly, but you just that the element of magic is not there anymore. Really, it's very commercial. It's very clinical. It's put together with a lot of technicality things like the lights on computers, everything. I mean, sometimes, you know, if you actually, if I may just go back just a little, when we had the discotheque here, This didn't have any of that gadgets. There was a mirror ball, it was a circular dance floor, and we had a thing called pineapple lights. They were just little rods coming off with the lights, and the color would change. 90% of the time that wouldn't work, it will just be static. And the rest was just a sound to light system which would actually keep. The magical gadget was the ultraviolet and the strobe. Now, just to emphasize that little magic thing, the carpet was an ultraviolet active carpet. So, whenever you put the ultraviolets on, the carpet came to life. It just jumped out. So, I mean, little things, elementary, basic, but magical. So, we used to have.
You don't have carpets like that anymore.
No, we don't use the ultraviolets anymore. That's the problem. Now, if we bring the ultraviolets in here, certain elements here will actually have ultraviolet active stuff, which will come to life, you know. Yeah. So, you know, the basics of so I mean, yes, there are lots of things that I think they can do better with this, and little
Thinking
things.
just out of the normal.
Yes, just you know.
Do you have faith? I'm asking this question now. I wanted to ask you, do you have faith in this government? Yes or no? I shall take another coconut eat myself and move on. It's a yes, no? Wait and see.
I personally feel that there has been a sort of a rally, and in the rally we've all got caught, some willingly, some unwillingly, but lots of people have not really looked at what they were doing when they cast their vote, because it is so plainly open to see that we might just about slip with one little wrong move the government can make. We are so fragile in our economy, we are still recovering, we have so much to do, and I think we were just getting started and we were sort of moving along towards the right end. It was not easy, we were a bankrupt nation, and you know, we were enjoying the fruits of massive taxes. I mean, massive taxes. We are taxed over 100,000 rupees. If you earn 100,000 rupees, you are taxed. And everybody is paying. Some people who earn, like bank managers and professionals, pay 2.5, 3 lakhs a month or as taxes. And the taxes were propping the economy up. We were not spending our money out. Our agriculture sector is in tatters. Things that we can do for ourselves, you know. So I think, do I have confidence in the government? I want to give them my confidence, not that I have the confidence. I want to give them and wish them well. And I pray and I hope that this little island of ours, which is supposed to be blessed, triple blessed by the triple gem. And for those of us who believe in our gods, I'm a Christian, and for the Hindus, for the Muslims who believe in a God, that gods collectively will keep us all protected and will not bring us to any more that we can bear. And I pray for the entire leadership of the country. I talk the government, the opposition, the academics, the professionals, and I think it's about time the professionals looked at themselves as such and stop taking sides. When you have an issue, deal with the issue and don't take a side. So, to the government, to the politicians, to the people in authority, please, this doesn't come with anger, doesn't come with venom. I'm advanced in my age. I might have, with God's given grace, another maybe 10 years. Right? But I'm definitely looking at my day of judgment, And if you are a person who actually believes in your rebirth, just consider where you might be reborn with what you are doing right now, because you are born right now with all the privileges and everything that you have is because of what you did in your last birth, not in this birth. So, in this birth, have you done enough for your next birth? As a Christian, have I done enough for my God to accept me into His kingdom? So, it is a simple state.
Of
I'm
course.
sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
That came from the heart. Yeah, if I was the parliament, I'll be sitting and like crying. Anyway, I think I'm going to give this to you, although Shehara can use it. You need it, but I'll give it to him. We'll get into a break. Thank you to our friends at Crystal Luxury Wellness for joining us on Date with Danu. You can now get yourself a brand new look for the new year. You can work with professional doctors, therapists and nurses who will guide you through the process. It could be for hair, skin, body, you name it. They have it all with the latest treatments coming to Sri Lanka, making it a hub for the world to see. So Crystal Luxury Wellness, thank you for joining us on the show. Welcome back to the show. We are speaking to Gerry and Shehara. Shehara. So Shehara and I have a problem. We sort of feed off each other's laughter.
Yeah, we do.
She's always like a motor that's about to take off. See?
See? Don't start.
Yeah. So we once went to Jaffna on a youth project we did, and we got to this Rio ice cream place. Did you tell you this story, Uncle?
No.
We were on the first floor and we started to laugh about something.
Yeah.
We laughed and it got infectious. You know that there was actually a town in the 1800s where they started laughing and everyone died. You might be the cause of it. It was like a laughing illness.
Yeah.
We laughed so much that the owners of Rio came upstairs
Yeah.
to see whether we were okay.
Yeah. Then they asked us to leave, no?
They did, because it was literally a few months after the war ended.
Yeah.
So they were like, so we just couldn't control. So we are not actually great company for each other.
No, I think we are.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
are.
That's true. And we were both the rejected ones. We had difficulties learning, understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, we needed shapes and sizes to figure it out and things like that. So this play that I've spoken so much about, actually most of the cast members have come on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think because he casted everyone in Colombo.
Yeah, at that point.
Feroz casted the whole of Colombo to attend Animal Farm. So she was one of the key cast members. She was playing a greenish blue chicken.
Good memory, Danu.
And she got to the Mirror Sunday Times front cover.
Yeah.
But all the others had to look at the camera. She was. And you know how many days you were crying about that? But my face is looking down. And then you brought in your sister Tracy.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That was it. That was it. That's
You-
when I peaked. And then
No,
that's
that was it.
That was
she
it.
was given a mic to sing, although she was flat. That
Yeah.
was taken off because
Yeah.
Tracy could sing better.
Yeah. Dance better.
Dance better. She looked better.
Yeah.
Like everything, and it just came in front. And Shehara, you were just thrown to the. I was with you for the longest time.
Yeah.
Because I was just fat and not moving around. Then I just blossomed as this beautiful sheep.
If you should say so yourself.
You know, I sang 4 solos.
You weren't fat though. Then you were thin.
No, that's because we rehearsed for 7 months to act. We looked like farm animals.
Yeah, and only had a godam.
Yes,
Yeah.
we looked like farm animals and smelled as well. But yeah, so that's how I got to know Shehara. Ever since then, we have had this giggle fit. And of course, she used to be very uppish though. So she's
Ane,
not
just wait.
You had that.
No,
you
I
had that
never
very
had that.
wicked streak about you.
No, what lies?
And later on, Shehara also went on to read news. Yeah. And how was that experience?
It was great. It was actually, that's what I was just telling my dad also, that this has a nice production crew. But where I was, the production crew was literally 3. I did my own makeup, I produced the own thing. There was a cameraman, an editor, and me. So it's really nice to see such a fantastic
So nobody
production
knew like
crew.
what you read.
Yeah, more or less. I had a crash course given to me on what the economy was like by my
Okay.
boss, who was fantastic. And
That was for what? Like in general to always know, take this side. Don't just
No,
say, Sri Lanka
no.
is blooming as a country. We have got
no, it was all about finance, right?
you didn't read any
Yeah,
other
there
news.
was
no?
Anda, Santa City
Ah,
morning, he did
yes.
like so economists, no, so it was all crash course on that, which he would send me to go interview the governor of Central Bank, and I would be like,
What am I to ask? What are you wearing today?
But yeah, he gave a crash course and he really like,
And how long did you read for? You looked very intelligent because you put the specs on and all.
because I
And
couldn't see the teleprompter.
no, that that specs look makes you look smart. No?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what you're doing with your specs
No,
now.
this I'm blind. I'm blind. I've tried the specs, looked into it. They saw through it. They're like, oh, dekhta. So when I first met Miss Gerry here, I was a little feather. I'd lost weight.
Feather.
Yeah. And though I was not eating and all to lose weight, and I remember fainting at the shoot as well.
Oh my God.
It was the DJ championship, and he lost his cool with somebody, man. And I was like, yo, because I had to interview the 3 judges. He was one, Harper was the other. I interviewed Harper and I hooked. I was like, yo, this one just scolded everyone. I didn't want to be the one who was going to, you remember it was at the Taj?
Taj, yes.
He remembers. But when I look at you, you look like you'll never lose your cool.
No, now he doesn't that much, but he has a bit of
Really?
that.
So what annoys you? Like, what annoyed you that day?
Principles, no, breaking.
I suppose it's, see, Danu, when you have devoted a lot of time and energy and hours into a profession that you want, and in today's context of DJing, it's so easy for everyone, and then you find people trying to make it look frivolous or so blasé, you know what I mean? So easy. What's it? It's a science. It's an art. Actually, DJing is a major art. Some of the best DJs in the world are the highest paid artists. So, what I was actually even at that point was just to instill a certain amount of responsibility
Towards the
towards
contestants.
towards the profession that he wants to be. You know what I mean? I was competing to be the best DJ. You just couldn't be the best DJ because you could do the mix right. You know what I mean? Attitude mattered. So I think something that was quite not right.
Yeah, but I
maybe.
think now also because there's so many tiers to this job, it is now like, now you'll only hear a DJ saying, buffet is open.
Yeah.
Like, not in a bad way, but I'm just saying,
Sure.
both sides have given in and the other side has taken advantage
Yeah.
of. So it has now come to that stage. But anyway, we'll get into a segment. It's called the priceless moment. New year, new things to do, new things to purchase. Well, MasterCard is the way to go forward. MasterCard is all about tap and go. They create moments that are so special, and it's always a priceless moment with MasterCard. Now that we have the father and the daughter combination, I would like to ask, tell me a moment that you all share, which is just yours moment.
In general.
Yeah, like something that he only shares with Shehara, his least favorite daughter.
I think our bonding has always been on God, and I think about like anything justice oriented.
Right.
So he really has been that influence in my life. I think I am where I am today because of that influence.
No shortcuts, do the right thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always fight for it.
And also something that I've noticed is the fact that lots of things changes, and also I think the environment, the school, even your industry has been absolutely colorful, and but yet how hard is it to keep it to the root, remembering this is what I want to be known as forever.
Absolutely.
And how has that been for you all?
I mean, to me, it's been the only purpose, honestly, to leave a sort of a, not so much even a legacy, but something where even younger guys can look, and because into, in posterity, later on somebody might look back at the industry, the origins of it, what happened, and invariably I hope whoever writes, the historians might get this whole thing correctly, because there were forerunners into the thing, in the sense of I became the active DJ as a professional, but people like Gabo Pires, who was a musician, was very active down south, where he did brought the consoles into Palm Garden, places like that, and he simultaneously about 1976, 77, so same era. That was when
So there was him, so the four names that were big at that time were you, Harpo, Gabo,
Yeah.
and who was the fourth one?
Well, I mean, there's a whole host actually. I mean, Harpo is the most prominent who actually, but there was Wendell.
Wendell.
Yeah, then there was Eugene Cook.
Okay.
Eugene
Bunty.
was one. Bunty. No, Bunty came much later. But 70 to 80 transition,
Yeah.
and then thereafter, so there were lots of others, but who have fallen off, who didn't stay.
Stay.
Yeah.
But 70s, I think Sri Lanka had the best time.
Yeah.
70s was like, we had disco at a disco level.
Yeah.
Yeah, people dressed well, they
Yeah.
danced, they ate well,
Yeah.
there was actually life to live. But
Yeah.
80s took such a sad turn. From 80 onwards, it just,
See,
80s was the darkest set of 10 years in our lives.
83 changed a lot of things.
How was it during that time? Like, what did you do?
Very, very, very tough, very bad. My gosh. I mean,
Were these places active?
No. Most of the yes, I mean, after the riots, for about 2 months, it took a, quite this thing. And then it had to go on, because these were, but by that time, the Trip discotheque had closed.
Right.
Because the chairman, Mr. Oberoi, didn't want it to run. What was running was Supper Club upstairs, and so were all the other places, It ran, but then, I mean, it was almost like we had lost our soul. We lost our soul,
People just came with a complete different mindset.
Completely.
Yeah, everyone speaks about the greater 70s.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then 88, 89, then we had this upheaval again,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Which was very brutal,
Yeah.
very brutal.
And then again, then it went into the war.
Yeah.
So, like, I think the best times of your career would have been where you did from your soul and entertained with the soul, and people also
Yeah.
fearlessly danced, would have been in the late 70s to early 80s.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then when things were just going so grey, what did you all do? Because this was your bread and butter.
Absolutely. I mean, everything stopped. Everything stopped. Everything stopped. I mean, we came to a standstill. And then, I mean, the international community looked at us differently. You know what I mean? The whole thing took so much to be, brought back.
Thank God at that time, if you had brought your disc, the army would have also come with you to check whether you were bringing a disc or not.
I mean, in 88, 89, I would do sound and lights for fashion shows and all that. And I had finished a show where Mrs. Premadasa was the chief guest, right? The checkpoints were everywhere. I was on my way back. I was living in Vaidya Road. At the Dehiwala bridge, they stopped me, and I had a van full of wires and all my stuff.
You look perfect like a bomb.
Absolutely. And I just had my electrician who was with me at that time. So, and I'm driving the van. I didn't have a driver. So then they said, from where are you coming? So I said, and then they said, okay, open the back. Open the back, wire after wire, boxes, stacked with wire. What's this, Mimulan? So we explained. And now he was going to get me to unload the whole thing for him to check. Now about 10 guys, thing. Luckily, a senior looking officer walked up and he said, from where are you coming? In English. All that time I was being questioned in Sinhalese. So I said, I'm coming from the Galadari. He said, who was the chief guest? So I said, Mrs. Premadasa. He said, please go. It was that close.
Wow.
That close.
Let's get into a break. We'll come back with more. Do stick around. This is A Date with Them. Welcome back to the show. Wanted to speak to Shehara a little bit about a condition that she and I share. We should not just say that and stop. No?
Yeah, no, we should.
So we have problems in reading out loud. Do you still feel like your words are... I just make up the word the minute I see like C, I'm like constipated. I'm like, oh, constitution, sorry. Like just imagine Sri Lanka's 40th constipation. Sorry, it's one of those, you know. I was telling her a great example of one of my live news updates, which I did once in the midst of a bomb blast. I said the traffic has been divulged. And I was like, no, diverted. So you can't take anything seriously with us.
Yeah.
How was it for you? When did you realize that, you know, although teachers would have said, they told me like, mode, munang, tanni kara mode. They would call my mother and say, yo, terrible, huh? Your son just can't study at all. It's dumb.
Yo.
How was it for you?
Well, I think I was like 16, O-level time, and one of my English teacher at the time, she recognized it, told my parents, and then we went to the Dyslexic Institute, and actually I did an
You went
assessment.
abroad?
Yeah, I was visiting my grandparents at that point, and they took me to the Dyslexic Institute in London because we had nothing here at that time, right?
Yeah, of course.
So
they
then-
just categorize it as mode.
Yeah, and then all වැඩ කරන්න නැහැ. කම්මැලි.
කම්මැලි
Yeah.
මොනවත් කරන්න
Yeah.
පොඩ්ඩක් උනන්දු වෙලා පාඩම් කරන්න.
උදේ 4 නැගිටලා. Yeah.
Nothing went at 4 o'clock when.
Yeah, nothing.
I'm like this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it was more that, but then.
So what was that they identified?
So I had a short-term, long-term memory issue. So whatever I study, it took a long time for me to actually, my writing skills are not so great. You can see, you know, with my text messages. So it's like a bit all over the place, but my writing is not great. So my construction of sentences, I jumble it up. What I should be saying at the end, I say at the start, kind of something like that.
Right. But now you were able to work around it and find ways?
Yes, I had a fantastic teacher at school who helped me through it, and because of her I've kind of learned how to do it, but I mean still I struggle a lot, but if I tell anybody they'll think no, because your personality doesn't show it like that, you know.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, some people who stammer, who sing so beautifully.
Yeah.
Like until they talk, you're like,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
you stammer?
Yeah.
It's one of those. So
Yeah.
it's just like that.
Yeah.
Only the greatest have had dyslexia.
Yeah. True.
Charles Dickinson, he
Yeah.
wrote, what do you call it?
It's okay, we're dyslexic.
What? When the world famous book? Can I have some more, please?
Yeah, Oliver Twist.
Oliver Twist, see?
Yeah.
We didn't know that part, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Who would
Richard
have
Branson,
Yeah. Who would have spell checked his work?
Charles Dickens. Are you sure he was dyslexic?
I was told that it's not that he knew me, no man.
Yeah.
What are you asking?
So
Then-
he was not on date with them.
I was not in that either. But some of the people who I want have died, man.
Ayyo.
Yes. Ayyo, terrible. But anyway, I wanted to ask you, Shehara, did you see her as a good candidate to become a DJ?
She would DJ. She wanted to. So I mean,
Yeah.
she,
But she would have spoken too much.
well, I mean, you know, yeah.
It's about me.
No, it's about the charm.
Like, if somebody in today's world wants to become a DJ, would you tell them to take it up as a full-time career?
Yes, I would actually.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yo,
But
how
it's a tough call, and unless you have your heart in it, and if you're trying to do it for commercial purposes, I think you might not actually succeed, because it's a hard grind. But if you would make there are lots of local DJs, especially on the electronic field, who's actually are doing really well right now internationally, and they're earning good. They're earning good. So yes, because I mean today with social media, once you start putting your posts up and showing what you do and how you do, you get immediately called up for gigs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, as a DJ, you can barely have like a night at home.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Your wife was okay with it.
well, I mean, she knew And
But she got into.
Yeah, I mean, she's paid the biggest sacrifice, honestly.
And you married her after you came, made yourself known here in Colombo?
No, we met in London.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you know, we've basically met in London. She came down, I came down. And that's one of the reasons I came down.
Ah.
And then I thought I'll give it a 3-month run and then go back.
Means run behind her.
No, I mean run on the console with the DJ, you know. So I told her, I said, okay, 3 months, and then if it doesn't work, I'm good. So then when the Oberoi offered me the DJ option,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good option, basically.
Correct.
You know? Only 5-star, I'm
Yeah.
resident DJ.
Did you get to stay in the hotel?
No, at that time, those privileges not given to even band members.
Oh,
Nobody.
really?
No, no one got it.
You pack up and go home.
Yeah. I mean, we had to fight for those rights. Huh?
Yeah.
It came after a long struggle. But now, I mean, the fact that you have to come through the service entrance, you know what I mean? You're fully kitted up and you're coming through the service entrance. So, but now, you know, there is recognition on that.
But Mama was the first person to have to carry the
And
record
yes.
boxes and set up.
And those is not easy, no?
Yeah.
You literally bring your whole house here.
And they used to
I
think they were a duo or a band.
Yeah. So I would have this console, like it's fully covered. It just looked like an organ. So now we are setting up lights and doing all these things. I had but electrician, and they're all waiting till I open the
Organ.
console, the organ. Yeah. So when I open, there are 2 turntables and the mixer. So
What are you?
what are you? How do you play? You know. So you know, it was that
Yeah.
novel, really. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was groundbreaking at that time, really.
Amazing. But things that we take for so granted,
Yeah.
no? Like
No,
now we just put it on Spotify and we're like,
Correct.
and even if you want it, we just say a DJ mix of it.
Correct.
90s.
Yeah.
Let's get into our segment. It's called Smack That. As we're talking about the good 80s, during the 80s came this brand called Smak. I think we have all enjoyed a nice chill Smak. What is your favorite? Don't just say, I will ask you questions like that. Huh? What was your favorite?
Smack orange. Today about my child Smack orange juice carton.
Is there an orange?
Yeah, isn't there? There
They only
is.
use natural fruits
Yeah.
like this. This is
That's-
called mixed fruit.
Yeah.
Orange color, you mean? God, you have not been helped still.
Smack that.
Big thank you to our friends at Smak, where you can enjoy all these amazing flavors that they have for you. A nice chill Smak can really put you in that right mood. And if you're planning on, you know, extending the seasonal festivities, after all, Christmas is until the 12th, right? And then if the 3 wise men were coming during the traffic this time around, they would have only come in Feb. So you can just keep the decor going. Look at us. Like getting the decor down is a curse. So while you're doing that, you can enjoy a nice, refreshing Smak. And they have all the side dishes to go with your murukus, your snacks, your peanuts, you name it, they have it all. So thank you, Smak, for joining us on the show. I just want to start eating one while I do this show. Okay. What is something people keep in their pants that their partners love to blow?
Really, Danu? Really? You're asking Dada and me?
The handkerchief.
Huh?
The handkerchief.
Very good.
Very
It's actually cash.
Oh.
See, his brain is not in the gut.
I'm
Gutter.
worried about yours.
Okay. What is a 3-letter word that ends with X, starts with S, and contains 1 vowel?
6.
6.
Congratulations, you're the lucky winner.
I was going to say 6.
No, your brain was somewhere
No. I was going to say
rendering
6. No.
time.
I said
But well
vowel.
done. Jerry is our winner. We're getting into a break. We'll see you on the other side. New year, new things to do, new things to purchase. Well, MasterCard is the way to go forward. MasterCard is all about tap and go. They create moments that are so special, and it's always a priceless moment with MasterCard. Welcome back to the show. So you're celebrating over 50 years in the industry?
Yep.
And we were trying to do this show for a long time. I asked your daughter, I said, why don't you come with your dad? Yeah.
I said yes.
Yeah, later on, because then only I realized your dyslexia, I had to ask it again.
You didn't have Dima then?
Huh?
You didn't have Dima then? When
What
you
did
asked.
she do?
She messaged.
Then your sister refused. Why is that? Why would your sister not want to be on the show?
Shall we call and ask her?
I don't want to call her. She has said no, she doesn't want to be on the show. Do you think does she think she's going to be invited for any other show that's better than this?
She'll probably want to do a solo on this.
There's no enough substance on her. Now she'll hate me for life. She'll blacklist this word, DANU. So, in the 90s, during all of these problems, what did you feed them? Like, how did you all live? Because you made entertainment your source of income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually I can only revert to my faith, my God, and that's the simple truth, really. From the day I started DJing or even doing anything, my father was my actual backbone on that. He would always say he would preach it but would not practice it. So he would tell me, now I've got a disaster, and I'm calling him, he's in London, and says, so I go through the whole thing of, I've had this problem, I need some money and all of that. He says, okay, fine, Puta. Now, have you said thank you? So one day I was desperate, So I said, Tati, I have a problem, I need some money, because otherwise I'm going to have a really big problem. So he said, okay, fine, but did you say thank you? So I said, no. I said, I'm like confused and I don't know what to do. I'm calling you, Mind you, it was not mobiles, it landline, and you had to get the call through.
The money is fading away.
Fading away and all that. So anyway, I cut the line. I got really sort of this thing, cut the line. And then, then he called me about 10 minutes later and said, just take your time, take a deep breath, and then sit in prayer and say thank you for the problem. So it took a little time. I had to gulp hard and then all of that. And then my dad telling me, so I needed to at least try it. So I did the thing, and then barely 2 hours went DANU, the problem got solved. So, my faith from the day I came into Sri Lanka, the time I started DJing, when the crisis hit in '83, Shehara was in London with Carmen, They had just gone. She was
Just
only a
one.
baby, just 1 year.
You're old.
Yeah.
82.
Right? 82. Right. So, and then they had just gone when the riots took place. And so they didn't see the harshest things. But 88, 89 became equally hard.
It played with food and everything.
Oh, without it. And then it was difficult to do anything. So I had, I don't know whether you heard of Lanels Learners, the famous lady car driver. He was a pioneer at that time. He was my uncle. My office was in Union Place, and he was just 100 yards away from me. And every day he would basically ask me whether everything was okay and all of that. And he made a point to come and give me 50 rupees every day. I'm talking 88, 89.
That's a lot of money at that time.
Yeah. Then he said, bring the family and come home. He used to live in Rajagiriya, in Valikadavatta. Bring the family for dinner. Right? So he, without actually trying to make me feel embarrassed about anything,
He made it a welcome that.
Yes, and this 50 rupees was like 500 rupees, And somehow, okay, we survived it. And you know, we did, the electricity bills had to be paid, the water bill had to be paid, the rent had to be paid, school fees had to be paid. And during that time, I think Shehara and Tracy both didn't get their reports one term because I hadn't paid the fees. You know, I hadn't paid, and it completely skipped.
And whereas when people must be seeing your job from the outside, they must say, Jerry Bugger, he is having a good bloody time at the disco, no? Yeah. But
so one of the things, I mean, okay, this is a very personal thing, I have never smoked and I don't drink. I have never done. So being in nightclubs, being in the middle of wine, women and song, right? God gave me that strength. It nothing to do with me, honestly. I'm weak. But I was given that strength to keep away from it, you know. So if you look at the heavens and Lucifer, when he was banished and became Satan, his ministry of music still remained with Lucifer. It was never taken away. So that's why we use song for war, for love, for sadness, for joy, for worship. We use it. We need to know how we use the music, you know, in the context of what it should be, because the kingdom, the music kingdom is, or that ministry is still held by the person who can trip you up. So the most popular places still today is for entertainment, other than the churches and the temples and wherever, it's used for worship, you know. But we use it for war. We go in song when we fight and want to kill people, you know. We make songs for it. So it's been the faith, actually. It's been my faith, you know.
amazing. What did you call it? The wine, women and
Song.
song.
Lucifer's kingdom.
Unlike you, Jerry. One thing is, of course, with no option, but the wine and the song, yeah, I don't want it. Other one, of course, I never wanted it. Let's get into a segment, and this is called Kinky. Welcome back to the show. So Shehara is a mom of two.
Yes.
And married to a good friend of mine as well, if I could say. I don't think he'd ever say that.
I know you say that. Yeah.
Dishan. Hi.
Hi.
He's very normal. He's very normal and he preaches and.
Yeah.
But you know, the trials and the type of issues that cross their path. Me, you,
Yeah.
we are the things that they challenge through,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely. Keep them alive.
Correct. All right, so this segment is made possible by our friends at Midnight Divas. Have you been there?
No, actually.
You can buy normal things, like they even have mint.
Ah, thanks.
Uncle?
We have a store like quarter mile away from our
House.
office. Yeah,
Have you
Naval,
been?
on the Naval Road.
Nabla.
Ah, yeah.
Nabla, yeah.
Have you been?
No, I have been trying to get auntie to go and see some. You know what I mean?
There you go. What are you doing, Shehara? Learn at least. Okay. Shehara, I'll ask you this. What's the most embarrassing thing that you've ever done to get your crush's attention?
My crush's attention. Most embarrassing thing. Thing is, everyone liked me, Danu. That's the problem. Like, I didn't
In
have
reality?
to chase. They chased me. Should I tell a few embarrassing things they did?
That they chased you, that's the most
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah, one crush told me that definitely would like to have Shehara as his girlfriend because no other guy will ever look at her. Yeah.
Yeah, but just imagine if you laugh like that.
Yeah, I know. I do. It's what I do.
So, Uncle, I'm going to ask you. What sport describes your sex life? Look at Shehara. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe Formula One.
He can't win everything.
Sorry, Shehara. Yours is like a Morris Minor trying to take off. Let's see you after the break. Welcome back to the show. So we have some pictures that we would like to show and our stories. Before we get to that, I want to ask you, you might have been a big heartthrob and all in those days. Girls might have come to the disco and like, Cherry!
Well, I mean, you know, there were two things. I think DJing was such a novel thing at that time. Almost all of the people who actually came to especially the trip discotheque, was of a certain social standing. The rest were all models and people in the thing. And the models were all really upper crust models, you know what I mean? Akushla Raymond, Akushla Chelaya, Geraldine, Bandarana, you know, the best of the best. And they have all...
Like not models.
Yeah, not models. And they were well spoken, they were from very good families, and they were all my good friends. And we remain good friends to date.
But somebody would have had a crush on you, no?
Well, I mean, maybe, but I never gave them the chance of really being able to tell that to me. There were like, I mean, you know, one or two, like maybe foreigners who would be at the trip, you know, would always come and sort of, you know, make a sort of introduction in a manner that as long as they are here, that they would, you know, But,
you know, I'm staying in 402.
yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't have that.
But, no, not you, the one who made the pass.
Yeah.
Would you like to play a track or two?
Yeah.
And you would have been like, God bless you.
Yeah.
I don't drink.
Not tonight, Josephine.
Not tonight, Josephine.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, let's look at pictures. Now, I have known Shehara for a long time. Like, this picture is just the terrible phones we used to have, no? Those days.
Oh my gosh, what is that picture? Oh
time
my
in-
gosh.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka, you know.
Yeah. Look, we can't see each other as well.
Yeah, didn't want to increase the brightness.
I don't know what happened. I think I
Yeah.
sent the right picture.
And
Those
then
are
look at
phones were
bibs.
terrible. Huh? Yeah. Phones were of terrible standards. No?
Yeah, that's true. Anna.
That's Shehara, right?
That's me and
And
that's
Tracy, the baby.
The baby.
Tracy just born.
I didn't notice Tracy there. I only saw you.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the age gap between you and Tracy?
2 years.
2 years.
2.5.
Who are these people?
Whoa, this is Benji and this is Miraj. This is at the Colombo Swimming Club.
Look at
Yeah.
the outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
My-
is incredible. Yeah.
They're back in.
I was DJing and then this was the band. Yeah.
This
Send
is
it
you?
Denver Sansoni.
This is not you? I really
No.
thought it might be you.
No, that's Denver Sansoni. He lives in Australia, but he was one of my assistant DJs.
Okay.
That's at the Grand in Norelia during the season.
Oh, wow.
So he would do the set before me.
Yeah. So the main man will
Yeah.
come.
Yeah, Pops and me. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you all known each other for?
Oh, since 1980, you know. It was the rivalry first.
Yeah.
We would know each other, but would not talk, would
Yeah.
not, you know. So so Friday nights at Women's International would be either me or
Ayo, Women's International now looks haunted. Nothing is
Yeah.
happening,
happening,
man.
yeah.
Seen,
And that was the place, you know. Yeah.
And so when you walk in, like,
No, so it will be Friday nights with, if it's either with Harpo, then Saturday is mine. And we never book it. It's just others who are putting the thing together, you know. So it will be such a run.
tight.
Yeah.
I think this picture is absolutely so cute.
Yeah. They're my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figured.
So my little daughter is Avya Gerry, named after.
Okay.
Yeah. Dada.
This is the sister. Again, another.
That's on the wedding day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you happy about her choice when she was getting married now?
Couldn't have asked for better.
Oh.
He's marvelous.
Dishan, you heard that?
What
He's-
a,
Yeah.
what a credit, what a credit. So that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I think we are done with the show, right? Yes, amazing. But thank you so very much for coming. Uncle Gerry, it has been absolutely amazing. I know you have 1,000 other stories that you can share, maybe soon on another show, maybe if your other daughter wants to come. But thank you so much for being here, and I
Thank
wish you another great run of amazing, entertaining, what can I say, good creations to come out of you, and that's the most important thing. Thank you for being here. I really enjoyed it. And Shehara, this girl holds a very special place in my heart, although we don't speak always, and she has a terrible answering machine. That answering, if you ever call, it sounds like she's talking to you. Hello. Annoying, right?
No, it's great. That's the point.
So annoying. But Shehara, amazing. I think you are a fabulous mom, and that's I think that's the biggest compliment anyone can ever
Yeah,
get.
definitely.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you,
are-
Danu.
You're a great mom, and I really hope one day your Te Kade business will come to life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Do you want to do like a Kopi Kade situation or like a proper?
No, I don't want to be Ensinana. Yeah. So I'll do Te.
Like no, like I'm like what kind of? Do you want it posh or?
No, no, no. I want it to be for everyone. It's like Fort Railway Station for the people after work, that kind of
Like
vibe.
sitting on like, you don't need any investment, no darling, just
No,
go.
you need like a karate, like nicely. Like do it, yeah.
All right, on that note, we need to wrap things up. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We will see you soon. Till then, you keep smiling and enjoy. It's a brand new start.